What's up everybody? I'm going to show you today how I do my turkey fan mounts. So right here I've got my Rio and my Merriam from a couple weeks ago. Y'all saw those videos, you watched those hunts play out. So I'll show you the first thing I do when I'm traveling, turkey hunting, is I carry these coat hangers with me. They're pants hangers, they clip. So I always take these with me when I travel for a couple reasons. One, if you cut the fan off and just stick it in the freezer, that's an option, but it usually gets wet and kind of gross. If you just cut it off, the turkey, and don't fan it out or do anything to it, it's going to start to stiffen up pretty quick, then it just makes it more difficult to work with later on. And two, it kind of makes it easier to store. You can hang it in the truck, on the drive, kind of makes it less likely to get damaged. So I always take those. So these have been clipped like this for about, I guess almost 3 weeks now. When I got home, I put some Bondo on what was the meaty part on the front and the back. I mean, excuse me, not Bondo, borax. We're gonna get to the Bondo in a minute. Some people use salt. I've always used borax. Used to carry that with me and put some on it right after I kill it. What you haven't seen so far leading up to this is cutting the fan off the bird and cleaning off as much meat as you can where all the quills meet. And there's a little bone, if you've ever cleaned one, that holds the gland where they use that to preen their feathers, and you got to remove that too, otherwise it'll secrete like an oil. So those are the steps leading up to this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of clear off this borax. It doesn't have to be perfect, and I've got Bondo, it's like a 2-part epoxy that I'm going to use to fix the area where the quills meet in forever. I've always done my fans like this because you put the Bondo on there and it's gonna last like that forever. If you don't, the feathers have a tendency to kind of over time creep in together if you just leave it like this. Now if you do leave it long enough with the borax, it will hold, but like I said, over time it's going to start to creep in. So with that Bondo, it kind of locks into place forever. It also presents the opportunity to drill a hole through the Bondo if you need to hang your fan right on the wall with a hole through it. I typically make my own little plaques to cover up, you know, kind of where the quills meet, and hang them on the wall. Excuse me. My buddy Chase Ferrier of Spring Legion, he started making some, selling them on their website. They look really good and they're very simple. So we'll get to those at the end of the video, but right now I'm going to show you how to do the Bondo to cure the fan. So if you've never done this before, here's an up close look at where all the quills meet. You can see there's a little bit of meat left, but it's dried like jerky, and it should be mainly just yellow like you see, and some of the borax is still there. You don't have to worry about getting it all off, but you definitely can. I'm going to start with the back first because it has the greatest amount of surface area for me to spread the Bondo. You might not even have to do the front, depending on, you know, if you got all the meat off to begin with and how long it's been curing with borax. So we'll get started. So if you've never used Bondo, here it is. You can get it at Walmart, Amazon, Lowe's. I got this on Amazon for like 14 bucks. It's like a paint can. You gotta pop the top off with a screwdriver or something. And it's gonna be gray on the inside. And then it comes with this little tube that this is, I don't know what color this will be. It's normally red. And so what you do is, or what I always do is I just get like a plastic spoon. I get a spoonful, and I just get a spoonful, and you'll see why. You don't want to get too much. And I keep it in the spoon. I always just use a paper plate. And you take this. Looks like this is blue. My previous can was red. And you just add just a little bit. So I'll show you. Here's my spoon. Mainly the gray portion with the blue portion. I don't know what the exact names are called. Now I take a little plastic fork or a knife. I got both here, depending on how easy the fork works. You mix it up until you get a nice, you know, now baby blue. And the more blue you use, the faster it's going to dry, whatever that agent is. So, and this is why I keep it in the spoon, because now I just have my little fork full. And I come over here and I just start spreading it. You obviously want to spread it as evenly as you can. Try to cover all the yellow. And I've done this as quickly as like the next day after I've cleaned the turkey fan. I mean, the longer you let it sit with the borax, the better, because it's going to dry everything up nice. But I've been in a hurry and I've just knocked this out and haven't had any issues. If you use enough Bondo, you know, everything inside there is gonna be locked in and cured, and you're not gonna have to worry about it, you know, bugs getting to it or it rotting really. At least that's how I've always done it. So get a nice even coat. Yeah, that's probably good enough right there. Show you a close up. There's nothing crazy. I just painted it on there like icing on a cake. So what I'll do is I'm about to do the other turkey, just like I did that one, and then this will dry. It really doesn't take that long to dry. I could probably flip it over and do the front if I wanted to within 30 minutes, but I'm probably going to give it longer than that. Come back this evening and do the front side, and let them dry, and then I'll get them on the wall. Okay, so we finished up our turkey fans, got the Bondo on the front and the back. It is all dried, and now they are on the wall. And I'll show you what I use to hang them with. So this plaque right here, it's one of my buddy Chase. He makes them, they sell them on their website, springlegion.com. I'll drop a link in the comments or in the details section of the video. What I like about these is the fan is not connected to the plaque. So what I mean is the fan just, I'll show you all, can pop right out. Let's see. And here's the plaque. Get in the light. So it's got this wire back here. That's how it hangs. And the fan just sits, you know, nested down in between the wire and the plaque. So I really like that because you can swap out different turkey fans. If, you know, I've got the Merriam here, this is the Rio. If I wanted to put an Eastern in there or an Osceola one day, you know, you could mix and match. I'll show you all in a second kind of how I've done some other turkey mounts, but I generally try to do that, not secure the fan to the mount so that you can easily transport fans if you're moving or swap them in and out. So I like these a lot, super easy to use. Here is the wire, so I just punched 2 nails in the wall so it can rest on either side of that angle. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, pretty simple. Like I said, I'll show you in a second some other mounts I've done, but you know, start to finish, really not much to it. This mount right here is the only one where the fans are actually connected to the plaque because they're on it together, both these birds. And then this one right here is another Merriam that I can pull that one out. Homemade that little cedar cutout. Same thing with this one. It's an old fence post I had. And then another cedar round right there. And here's 2 just freestanding fans again. Did them just like the fans in the video, the Bondo. These are several years old. Kind of gives you an idea of something else you can do with them. That's going to do it for the how-to turkey fan mount video. Hope I did a decent enough job explaining kind of my process and why I did what I did. If y'all have any questions, just drop in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. And y'all comment any other, you know, hunting how-to videos you're interested in seeing. I'm going to try to start doing, you know, kind of a mini series of hunting how-tos. We're about to get into some deer season prep, talking about, You know, we can talk about how to saddle hunt, how I do that, kind of my technique, strategy, how to with mineral sites in the summertime, how to with food plots going into the fall, kind of just how we do it. So I hope if y'all like it, y'all be sure to like and subscribe so you catch the next one. And for these two turkeys right here, I will tag the video from these hunts, the New Mexico bird and the Texas bird. So y'all be sure to check those out if you haven't. We will see you on the next one.